So I'm back with another prevention is better than cure ministry video. I don't even know what to say, but I'm just gonna say it as it is. I just saw this. No, I didn't just see this video, but I've had this video for a while, and I was just reflecting on it today. So this is it. A lot of women find themselves in this position, right? Like, I do so much, I give so much, and they expect so much back in return. If you're a lady, come close. If you're a guy, just move. And let me talk to the girls. You know, this season, I'll be very intentional about just really grooming myself in this area of life, because I feel like not only because I've been called into it, but also because I'm also in the season. Can you be called into something you're going through? God, the way when you do things, I don't understand. But anyway, so this is what I've learned. Your husband is your king, not your God. Your husband is your king. He's your master, but he's not your God. And it's it just reflected on what I learned, during my counseling session with my coach, is that because many women, there's this fantasy that you have to relearn. It's so important. You have to relearn it intentionally. It took me 30 something years, so I know what I'm talking about. That I just need to meet my husband, I just need to marry, and that's it. My life is settled. You have to relearn it. Nobody holds you some sort of fancy happiness and stuff. And the more you do, God does not equate that does not equate the happiness. So one thing I've also learned to do in my personal life, and it's part of my own culture that I'm also grooming, is there was a place of God in my life. Nobody, not even my husband, can take that place. Nobody, not even my parents, can take the place. There's some things that God would tell me to do. I mean, there's some things God would tell me not to do, even though my parent told me to do it. I'll honor them, I'll explain to them, but I would not do it. It doesn't make you a bad person. There's a place that God needs to be in your life, and you have to practice it as a single person before you get married. That nobody can take this place of God in my life, and it's only God that I can do so much for, because He satisfies me more. Let me just leave it, more than anything else. There's a place of God and there's this place for your husband. You must learn to differentiate it, to draw the line. Because this woman is a depletion of many women. Nobody even needs to tell me anything, because I lived in one. I saw it day after day. It's not about how much you do. It's about coming to an understanding and a knowledge of knowing the difference. And that's why many of us are not even in a hurry, because we know what it entails. So many women do that and expect, oh, when I do, I'm going to get back. It takes God. It takes God. So start seeing whatever you do for your spouse or for your family like you're serving God. I'm telling you, like, that's the ultimate satisfaction. Don't let anybody deceive you. Whatever it is you're doing for your family, they've said marriage is a ministry. Just do it like you're doing it as unto the Lord. Even the Bible says, whatever you do, do it as unto the Lord. It's only the Lord that can satisfy you. It's only the Lord that can do that which without The word is not even like without expecting return. He's love that way. So don't put the place of God where God needs to be, and put the place of your husband where he needs to be. Don't make your husband your God. The moment you do that, you have missed. You don't miss out. Frustrations like this will begin to set in. Bitterness like this will begin to set in. Unrest, peace of mind. I mean, you won't be able to even take care of yourself. You get so fat, sick, full of bitterness. Now you want to kill somebody. Now you want to kill somebody and kill. Why will you? I can't even get to that point. Do you understand? Because I would never ever put my husband in the place of God in my life. Never. He's my king. He's my love. He's my heart. He's my master. He's and you know, is it's in the vex me. I'm sorry, my king, I'm sorry. Lord, I'm sorry. Yes, sir. He's my master, my king, my husband, my whatever. But my father is my father, is my Jehovah. I call him the Lord of my salvation, my strengthener, and he's my comforter. Oh God. You know, the moment you just have this distinction between the place of God in your life and the place of your husband, peace of mind equals peace of mind. A plus B equals P, peace of mind. I'm telling you. Kind of knew this, but just like it was reinforced in my. But that's it, so that you don't get to this point, because this point is a point that I hate. If someone was telling me the other day that why is that you is resistive when it comes to stuff like this, like I'm kind of person that I can easily just beg, like very like, because this point is so common. It's so common. This point that this woman is right now is so common. It's the reason why a lot of people are just scared about, like, can marriage just turn somebody down? And I'm sure if you see that woman before and if you see this after, it's not the same. This is the reason why many people are just like, no, I beg. I just want to enjoy my life. God knows I just want to enjoy my life. I just want to enjoy my life. Even though I'm gone, it's like, you just have to listen and obey instructions. I'm telling you, no, people don't want it. I don't want it. People don't want it. This is the reason. It's not normal for you to be like over 30, you're not married. It's not normal. Over 40. I was watching one of a celeb, and she was talking about how she's over 40 and no child and stuff. It's not normal. It's not normal. Stop. We should even stop all this trying. It's not a normal thing for you to be over 40 and not be married and not have a child, and you come online and be like, oh, I said it without feeling this. Look, you can say without feeling, but that is not the norm. But this is the reason why many women are just like, I don't want it, because what's the point, right? Why do you want to end up this? But that's the reason why you have to be intentional about learning. Something like what I just said. Don't put your husband in the place of God. And make sure that you define your happiness based on your own terms, because that your king is a human being on his own. He's trying his best. He's trying to love you like Christ loved the church, but he's also human. And women try to overcompensate by doing too much. This is how me I live my life. I do my duty. I've learned, okay, what does a man need? I would do what I need to do in terms of what he needs and being there for what he needs. But first of all, God's place, because God, there's nobody that can even take the place of God in my own life, Sha. I don't know about other people, but when there was nobody, when it was like it's over, when the world turned their back on me, when people were just like, when I don't even want to go into the details, but only God. That's why I know him as my comfort. Like nobody can. There's no. You can't. He was the only person that was whispering in my ear and saying, "You can get out of this. You can get out." It was just a little whisper of hope. So nobody. No, you can't. There's something that only me and God know. Only me and you. That only me and God know. So there's no man that can take that place. There's no human being, do you understand, that can take that place. So you do your part, you do your role, do the ministry, marry the ministry, whatever, do the ministry. I'm serious. I'm not saying I'm not taking all this day. I beg. I spent thousands of money. May you go pay me back more, I swear. But here's the deal. Yeah, marry the ministry, do whatever, dutiful sex, whatever, all this, do what you gotta do, but ensure that your husband is your husband and God is your God, because it's only God that can really satisfy you in this life. That's the truth. It's the only one. It's only God that knows me, no. It's only God that say talk man, and I'm like, I'm sorry, sir. I'm very sorry. Do you understand? Because his love is flawless, right? But don't it's putting so much expectation on a person that leads you to this frustration. That's it. So put your expectation, all the expectation that you have, just go and put it on the one that created you, that loves you, that will show up for you, that is your comforter. Oh God, I saw God as my comforter last year. As your comforter. Put that energy, take that energy. That's in this life I have done good. You have no idea. In my story. This is my story. This is my song. I've done good for that. I've been backstabbed, but because I'm doing it from a place of a service to the Lord, and God blesses me for that. So I don't do it for the people. I do it, even when I do it, I'm just like, I've done it, but I do it as unto the Lord, because that's what the Bible requires. That's what God requires of me, to be good, right? To be good. So it's as unto the Lord. So by the time you do it as unto the Lord, no matter the outcome of what happens, that satisfaction, God fills it up. There's so many times God has compensated me for the misfortune. I'm not saying misfortune, but for the ill treatment of another person. Someone ill treat me, and God comfort me in a different perspective. So I know what I'm talking about, where you put God where he's supposed to be, and you put human beings where they're supposed to be. That is the ultimate satisfaction. And you create that right now before you get married, so that you don't put so much on your husband, although you expect so much from him. Like me, I expect so much from him, and that's the reason why you have to be intentional about your choices when it comes to what exactly you picking to be your spouse, because there's expectations, right? There's a way that he's supposed to live up to his expectations. But as much as there's that expectation, make sure your expectation ultimately is to the Lord, so you don't get to this point. This is not a good spot to get to as a woman. Believe me, I've seen it over and over again. I lived in it over and over again, and I hated it over and over again. And I feel like, as much as healing is still a continuous process, it's still one of the things that I'm just like, please, God knows, and God has told me that I'm going to enjoy the rest of my life, because I don't understand this song. I don't understand. understand. I'm not living. I'm not living there. I beg. Don't ever. It pained me because I felt it when she said, "In this life, I've done good." I'm like, oh, I know that feeling. But put it on the Lord. Put it on the Lord. That's why even right now it's still a thing that I've not yet perfected, but I'm building myself in terms of my relationship with the Lord has to be solidified, because that is where you would draw all the things that you need, especially in marriage. Because as women, we have that expectations. We have that expectation. That's the truth. We have that expectation. She was longing for something from her husband that he's not doing, and she now wants to kill him, and advising other women to kill their husbands, that she will support them. That's not a good place to be, and that is the reason why many people don't want to get married, because like, this is 80%, or let me not say 80%, most of the percentage of women after a few years in marriage. So what's the point? Why do I want to go through that? But the truth about it, and that's why relearning is very important, is that first of all, who are you choosing? That's where I'm coming from. That's it. Start from the choice. And first of all, you also have to, and before you get to that point of choosing, you have to relearn about what exactly you can do right now as a single person to ensure your marriage is a success. I feel like I don't really want this, because I'm just like, for someone that is in that, portal, but every time I see a post online that there's just something that there's something that can be done, and I fully aware that it's so abnormal to be single at a certain age. It's not normal. It's not normal for me to be single at this age. It's not. And I'm not single anyway. But let's just leave that. But it's not normal. But then these are the reasons why, right? And people see videos like this and be like, I beg, I don't want. Keep your marriage. I used to myself, like, the only thing I miss is intimacy. Apart from that, I don't need anything. before they slap my head. Lord, I still have a headache. I still do. My head still hurts. Don't slap my head tired. I say, what do you mean? What do you mean? I'm tired. I know you would. Wanna leave me.